Alright guys, so in this video I'm going to show you how to uncover a buried implant. So what I do is, well, first I start with a PA. You got to take a PA on the implant before you go and try to uncover it. And then I just use little local infiltrations around the implant site. I use Septicane and I just go all around the implant site and inject. And here you see I'm making my incision with the 15C blade. So I make my incision a little bit more lingual so that I can push some of that tissue towards the facial. So I'm just making my crestal incision, so specifically my crestal incision is towards the lingual, right? And you can make intraocular incisions at the adjacent teeth. You can also do a papilla sparing design. Either way works fine. I think papilla sparing works a little bit better, so that way you don't alter the gingival architecture at those teeth. Here I just use an intraocular incision, and now I'm using a little periosteal elevator to just reflect that tissue back, and I'm just finding where that implant is. And so I mean, it's pretty easy to find it. It's right in between the two teeth, but you have to verify that radiographically to make sure your implant didn't fall out or something. That's the implant right there, and now I'm just removing some of that connective tissue that's on top of it. And you can see a little bit of bone grew over the implant, over the cover screw. And so now I have to just work at removing bone really conservatively, so that way I don't damage the implant or damage the bone levels at the adjacent teeth, and that it'll allow me to remove that cover screw. Because if you go try to remove that cover screw right now, it's going to be locked in. So I'm just using a little round burr on a surgical handpiece, on a straight surgical handpiece, with some irrigation, just lightly around that platform. And I have that cover screw on there, so that's protecting my platform. What you can also use, you can use a surgical handpiece and like a small crown prep burr. That would actually be a little bit more conservative. You could be you could do like a lot more fine. You'll have a lot more fine control of your handpiece and how much you remove. Using the round burr that I use, you're just a little bit more aggressive. So now I'm just unscrewing that cover screw, and it looks like it's coming right out. So I don't need to remove any more bone, I don't think. So one time I went to do an uncovery and the implant wasn't there, and so I hadn't checked beforehand radiographically, but I kept looking and looking and the implant wasn't there. The patient had lost the implant somehow and didn't notice that they lost it within the healing period. That was kind of crazy. So anyway, now I take the healing abutment and I put the healing abutment on. It's a sterilized healing abutment for sure. I put it on there just finger tight, and then I'll place some sutures. I'm placing 2 interrupted sutures, one on the mesial, one on the distal, and that's it. If you wanted to do like some custom emergence profile, you can use a more customized healing abutment or a preppable healing abutment. I'm just using a stock one, and that's it. I'm using some ptfe sutures. I like those sutures in particular because they come out really clean. It doesn't bother the patient, and they don't really accumulate much plaque on them. Alright guys, hope this has been useful. I'll catch you later.